Thanks for joining us for our review of the international races here in Singapore for the 18th of May 2014. Well, Lucky 9 went back-to-back in the Chris Flyer. Everyone was wondering whether Military Attack would go back-to-back in the Singapore Airlines International Cup. Let's have a look at some of the lead-up action to the big race. The Singapore Airlines International Cup, 2,000 metres. Number 1, Military Attack for Joe Moreira and John Moore. Number 2, Dan Excel, Tommy Berry and John Moore. Number 3, Tokay Halo for Hirofumi Shi and Hisashi Shimizu. Number 4, Johnny Guitar, Byron Vorster and Pat Shaw. Number 5, Side Glance for Jamie Spencer and Andrew Balding. Number 6, Mullikalok for Damien Oliver and Jane Chappell-Hyam. Number 7, Smoking Sun for Stefan Pasquier and Pascal Barry. Number 8, Lamario for Patrick Dobbs and Doug Watson. Number 9, Wild Geese for Harry Kassam and Stephen Burridge. Number 10, City Lad for KB Sue and Desmond Coe. Number 11, Trapeus for Zach Curtin and Michael Friedman. Number 12, Sea Sage for David Flores and Daryl Vienna. Now the runners coming onto the track for the Singapore Airlines International Cup of 2014, led out by the reigning champion Military Attack. Dan Excel heading off towards the preliminary warm-up. City Lad, Johnny Guitar links up. Trapeus looks to be loaded away. Dan Excel's drawn the inside, has been taken forward. There's Tokay Halo. Last one goes in, Military Attack. He's the short prize favourite. They're ready to go. Set now. Gates are back, racing in the cup. Wild Geese got a great start from the inside. Dan Excel not so. He's being hard ridden on the inside, but from the inside advantage will be forward. Tokay Halo for Japan is coming up on the outside. Johnny Guitar just off them. Lamario and Trapeus has got a lovely spot over on the inside. They were followed by Military Attack just off them. Mullikalok was next from Sea Sage. Then came Smoking Sun as they leave the straight from City Ladder. And back to the rear went Side Glance. They work up the side now towards the final 1,500 metres, and Tokay Halo, as expected, went to the lead. Wild Geese in second. Dan Excel over on the inside, and they're not going at a breakneck pace. Up on the outside a little wide is Lamario, followed by Johnny Guitar down on the fence. Then Military Attack, who's got into a great position. He's one off the fence, covering up Trapeus. Then Mullikalok over on the rails from the American Sea Sage. A length and a half away to Smoking Sun. City Lad the inside, and back at the rear is Side Glance. They come to the halfway marker, 1,000 metres to go, and Tokay Halo given a little bit more rain, raced away by 4 lengths over Dan Excel. Wild Geese the outside, Johnny Guitar down on the fence ahead of Lamario, then Military Attack. Joe biding his time on the favourite. The inside is Trapeus, Mullikalok, Sea Sage about to go for Flores. Trying to get onto his back is Smoking Sun, then City Lad, and Side Glance needs to come from last to win the cup as they come to the top of the straight. 600 metres to go. Tokay Halo shows the way. Dan Excel easing off the fence to come after him. Wild Geese gave it away. Around the outside, beginning to run into it was Lamario, followed by Military Attack. Trapeus, Johnny Guitar. Sea Sage for America runs into it quite well. It's Tokay Halo at the 300. Dan Excel goes up to eyeball him. Military Attack, a little one pace trying to get there. Down the outside is Smoking Sun, but Dan Excel races away for Tommy Berry. Inside the final furlong, Dan Excel has got them. Military Attack and Smoking Sun run on hard, but Dan Excel takes out the Singapore Airlines International Cup. Smoking Sun second. Military Attack third from Tokay Halo. Next in was Side Glance, followed by Sea Sage, Mullikalok. A gap to Lamario, Johnny Guitar, then City Lad, Wild Geese, and Trapeus runs in at the rear. John Moore goes back-to-back in the Cup. Successful with Military Attack last year, and now lands the race with Dan Excel, who chased home his stablemate 12 months ago. Brilliant ride from Tommy Berry. We said in the introduction he's one of the rising stars. So at his last 2 visits here to Singapore, he's claimed the Longines Singapore Gold Cup and now the Singapore Airlines International Cup, and another massive Group 1 victory to the name of Tommy Berry and John Moore, who finally broke through for an international Group 1 victory 12 months ago with Military Attack. Military Attack's gone well, but they've gone blistering time here. 1:59.07. Tokay Halo set the speed, and they've come after him. Dan Excel just got a gun right over on the inside. He was on the leader's back. He just eased off the fence as they came to the top of the straight. A track record, 1:59.07, 2:71 and 3 the numbers as we head downstairs.
Down with a very excited owner, Craig. I've got the owner of Dan Excel. I've never seen anybody more excited. David, congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's an exciting victory, and he was perfectly positioned coming to the turn. He just came around the Japanese horse, and I didn't think he was going to win by as much as he did, but he did, and all I can say is congratulations, Hong Kong, and thank you, Singapore.
Thanks very much, David.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I've got John Moore, who's out on the track. He's about to greet his horse, Dan Excel. John will walk towards the horse. Well done.
Thank you very much. I think the gate made the difference there.
Yeah, with a Barry.
Great ride from Tommy, and we're really hitting our straps now as a team. So, and to see him win Facile like that, it was a bit of a replica of Military Attack last year, wasn't it? But I'm happy for the owner. This horse has been the underdog in so many big races, and today he excelled.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Trainer John Moore, and what a special moment this is for the rider, who I think is looking to the heavens, Edward Sadler.
Well, of course, this is where, unfortunately, Tommy's brother Nathan ended his career. Of course, he lost his life tragically, and so for him, Tommy, this is a special moment to come here to win the biggest race that we have in Singapore. He's already won the biggest race domestically that we have last year in Trapaus in the Gold Cup, but this is the biggest race we have internationally and overall in Singapore, and for Tommy to win it on this horse, who's just been so consistent, so gallant right throughout his career. Really special moment for Tommy Berry.
Hands clasped together. He's got the Hong Kong flag, but he's an Aussie boy at heart. He won the Gold Cup on Trapaus. He's looking to the heavens now. We know what that's about.
We do indeed. We'll get to hear from Tommy shortly. But a super ride from this horse. He's already a Group 1 winner, but he's played second fiddle to his stablemates on so many occasions. And today he gets that win and beats them, and he deserves it very much.
Great run from Smoking Sun to run second for Stefan Pasquier and Pascal Barry, and Military Attack. Well, he's run third. His run has been okay, but he's no match at all for the stablemate, and Tommy Berry is lapping it up here, 2:71, and Tokay Halo. Well, they went through the first 400, Edward, in nearly 25, and I just thought for a moment that the Japanese horse might be able to keep going with those sort of fractions, but just goes to show how quickly they've run home, that they've gone 1:59.07.
They increased the tempo as the race went on. It was a clever ride by Hirofumi Shi on Tokay Halo, because they didn't go too hard early, but as the race went on, they quickened up, and the ride from Tommy Berry got to the right spot at the right time, and Dan Excel dashing away. Really liked the performance of Smoking Sun. He was finishing off very strongly as well, and Military Attack, he was good, but looked a little bit flat, I thought, Matt, to be honest.
Yeah, it wasn't the performance of last year, but John Moore has spoken about the barriers, how they've played their part in this result, and Dan Excel from gate number 1 has been able to win. There's a lot to like about the run of Andrew Balding's horse, Side Glance for Jamie Spencer. Pretty hard to come from where he was, and the fact that he's been able to run fifth was very, very good. 2:7.13 and fifth in number 5. It's a length and 3/4 by 1.5, and at the moment it's just, I suppose, a flood of emotions for the team from Hong Kong. They've come here yet again, and for his rider, Tommy Berry, it's just a truly magic moment. We had him here back in November when he won the Gold Cup with Trapaus, but this is by far a more of a significant moment in his career. He was there to pounce as they turned for home, and at this point it looked very ominous for the rest of the field.
It did indeed. He just dashed to the front at the right time. He's coming off a terrific performance, this horse, in the Champions Mile. Of course, he won that race, so he's a Group 1 winner already, and today he gets another Group 1 win, this time here in Singapore, after finishing runner-up in the race last year to Military Attack. Tommy Berry, the winning rider, he's run Group runs in Australia, here in Singapore and in Hong Kong, but this one particularly significant for John Moore, a great supporter of his. Tommy, that's a really special win for you.
Yeah, it's very important. Very emotional. Obviously, this was the last place Nathan was before he passed, and he really enjoyed the racing here, and It's quite funny actually. There was a beautiful big butterfly that landed at my feet in the mounting yard and hung around there for a bit just before I got on, and then the same butterfly, well, whether it was the same, looked the same, but was flying around me in the gates. So he was here today.
Must be terrific to win a horse as gutsy as Dan Excel, to a horse you've had a lot of time for throughout your career.
Yeah, I have. I've watched him for a long time and always been hoping to get on his back, but only took the last start, and he was 4 wide, no cover the whole way the other day, and still toughed it out to finish third. And a bit worried I wasn't going to get the ride back, but I begged John, and he said that I was already booked for it. So very thankful to John and the owners for giving me the opportunity. And the first time, he's not a young horse, this bloke, but it's the first time with the winkers, so full credit to John for whacking them on and sharpening him up a little bit, and he raced like a good horse he is.
The 200, did you ever look behind your shoulder? Because you were the one you wanted to be on. Nothing was catching you.
Yeah, that big screen's pretty good. You can have a look at that a few times, and I just let him cruise the last bit, and he came back to me nice. But probably one of the most special wins of my career, and I'll never forget it. And I've got to thank everyone here in Singapore. They were great to Nathan whilst he was here, and like I said, he enjoyed his time here. And thank you everyone for all of your support over here since his passing. And I know one thing, you'll never be forgotten.
That's certainly true, Tommy, but your efforts here and the thoughts of everyone are with your family, but you're just great ambassadors for racing, and the whole racing world supports you, which must be extra special for you to know you've got that support.
Yeah, look, we've been taught at a young age to always, respect the game and try and promote it as much as we can and get young people into it. And we're only young ourselves, but we do our best for the sport and try and promote it the best we can. And I believe Nathan did that to the best of his ability before he passed. And I'm glad that I can carry him with me on my shoulder everywhere I go.
Well done, Tommy.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just witnessed an emotion-charged running of the Singapore Airlines International Cup of 2014, won brilliantly by the Hong Kong horse Dan Excel, ridden by Tommy Berry and trained by John Moore. We are indeed very honoured to have up on stage with us this evening His Excellency the President of the Republic of Singapore on this very special occasion here at Kranji. Also up on stage, Mr Tan Guang Ching, Chairman, Singapore Turf Club, Mr Moses Lee, Chairman, Singapore Tote Board, and from Singapore Airlines, Chairman Mr Stephen Lee and Chief Executive Officer Mr Goh Chun Pong. It gives me great pleasure to invite Mr President to present the trophy to the winning owner of this year's Singapore Airlines International Cup, the race won by Dan Excel after he finished second last year. Please make welcome the owner, David Boehm. Great moment for connections here of Dan Excel, playing second fiddle last year behind Military Attack. This year, Military Attack third, and Dan Excel goes home the winner of this $3 million race, our feature race of the season here in Singapore. Well done to David Boehm, and all connected with Dan Excel. Well, the winning trainer, he won the race last year with a horse called Military Attack, and this year, the winning trainer is John Moore. John bringing a few horses over this year. He had Sterling City, who couldn't win the Cruise Flyer, but he's taken out the richest race of the night and the richest race of the season. Well done to John. Great moment for him with this horse, Dan Excel. And I mentioned early on, it's been an emotion-charged race. Please make him welcome the winning jockey, Tommy Berry. Such a popular figure and such an emotional night. It was only a few months ago that Nathan was over here riding winners, and Tommy has come back and won the richest race of the season, and it means the world to him, I am sure. Well done to Tommy Berry, well done to John Moore and David Bowman, all connected with Dan Excel. We'd like to invite the Mr. President to remain on the dais now for a special group photograph. Okay, so it is victory there for Dan Axel, who takes out the Singapore Airlines International Cup. David Boehm now will pop the champagne to celebrate the victory of Dan Axel in this year's edition of the Singapore Airlines International Cup. Well done to Dan Axel. Hong Kong have taken out both races yet again here in Singapore at Kranji. Truly a momentous occasion for Hong Kong. Well, he, I suppose, had the favours with the barrier draw, and sometimes in racing that's what you need. Gate number 1, worth its weight in gold. Got a beautiful run in transit. A little tardily away initially, but he was able to pick up into a nice position. And Tokay Halo, as predicted, set up a lively tempo. Given a gun ride here by Tommy Berry, has been able to go on and score. 2.713, all clear is there. Blistering time here, 1:59.07. And Dan Axel, he's always been a horse who, well, Darren Flindell, I think, described him as Unlucky Dan, a horse who'd had 16 runs at Group 1 level prior to tonight and had been only able to win on one occasion at Group 1 level. Well, it's been magnificent to have the President of the Republic of Singapore here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, the President now will take his leave. Thank you, Mr. President.
What an outstanding performance from Dan Axel for Tommy Berry and John Moore, taking out the Singapore Airlines International Cup and making it back-to-back for Hong Kong. Lucky 9 in the sprint, super performance from Emperor Max and also Zach Spirit to fill second and third for the locals. Once again, an outstanding night of racing. The international races here in Singapore. Hopefully you've enjoyed the coverage. We'll catch you next year. Across the line, gates back, racing in the Cruise Flyer. Lucky 9 races away in the Cruise Flyer, back to back into history. Lucky 9 from Rebel and Founds takes it out by 3. Gates are back, racing in the Cup. Wild Geese got a great start from the inside. Dan Axel takes out the Singapore